We just visited with your roommate, Brees. He didn't give us any dirt, although we tried to get it out of him about you, but he withheld. So
Yeah, I told him not to say anything that I wouldn't want out there. So I'm proud of him for that.
all right, everybody, we're gonna get going here a few minutes early with Brock Purdy, the talented quarterback from Iowa State University and a graduate of Perry High School here in Gilbert, Arizona. It's been a record-setting year for Iowa State with their 8-3 record, number 6 national ranking, and an offensive unit that has been entertaining to most with Brock, running back Brees Hall, and a talented receiving core of tight end Charlie Kolar and wide receiver Xavier Hutchinson. And reminder, Xavier is available on the other Zoom channel if you do want to go over and catch up with Xavier at any time over the next 20 minutes. Brock, before we get started with some questions here from the media, is there anything you want to share with the group about your return trip here to the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl in your hometown, or just how preparations have been going for Oregon?
Yeah, I mean, when the bowl game got announced, I mean, I was really just thrilled to go home. I've always dreamed of being able to go home and play in my home state, at the top level. And so here we are with the Fiesta Bowl, so I'm thankful for that. But also being able to handle, Oregon, and, they're a great team and stuff. So I still have to prepare the right way, and I feel like I've done that so far up to this point. So that's really where I'm at.
Our first question is going to come from the Arizona Republican, Jeff Metcalf. Jeff, you're up.
When you just talk a little bit about the pride that you can take in having, helped to lead this team to a New Year's Six Bowl for the first time. And then also just any memories you have, specific memories of the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, I came here for a reason, to, help get this program going with Coach Campbell and everybody. And so to be able to get to a New Year's Six Bowl for me is, pretty, astonishing, and it feels great. But, we still have to go there and win the game. It's not just to get there. But I like being able to look back and reflect on it is very special for sure. But also being able to go home in my home state and to be able to, hopefully win this game in my home state, to me that's everything. It means a lot, and I'm thankful for it. But at the same time, we still have to go do the work itself. So there's still a lot to do from this point until Saturday. But being able to look back and reflect on everything, I'm so thankful for how everything's turned out and being able to go back to my home state.
Zachary Martin from the Iowa State Daily.
Brock, when you were a kid growing up in this state, did you ever dream about, playing in this stadium, playing in this bowl game, when you're throwing passes, throwing as a kid, just, all those moments that kids have when they play football in their backyard? Did you dream of playing in this bowl game? And now that dream has become a reality, you've got to be so excited, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, growing up, college football really was, my favorite. NFL was great and everything, but I always wanted to play, for a national championship, to play in big bowl games. And, being, born and raised in Arizona, for us, that was the Fiesta Bowl. I had a bunch of family friends always go to the Fiesta Bowl every year. We'd always have big parties watching growing up as a kid. And so watching those games, I've always dreamed and envisioned myself, being in that kind of game, that environment, and playing in my home state. And so, being able to understand that that's going to be me on Saturday is pretty sweet. And, it's a dream that I'm going to be able to live out. So yeah, it's been amazing. It's been a fun ride. Seeing where I've come from and, being able to get to this point is everything to me. So I'm really excited for it. Yeah. And it's going to be a dream come true for sure.
Brock, I'm going to take the opportunity to step in here. When you're on the bus going to the stadium and you hit the exit for the stadium and you look out and you see the stadium with the signage on the outside, what's the feeling and the emotion going to be as you approach the stadium for the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl this year?
Yeah, I already know I'm going to have goosebumps, going into that game, just being on the bus with my team. And I'm just going to be so excited to, have the team that I played college football with to go back to my home state and, accomplish this goal, all of us together. And so that's what I'm most excited about. And yeah, when I take that exit going into the stadium, you know, I'm going to have, you know, just a bunch of memories of, you know, being in that stadium, watching games and, you know, obviously like just having that pride of being from this state. All those thoughts are probably going to be, you know, rushing through my head and everything. But, you know, I'm going to try to keep my, you know, poise and calmness at the forefront and, you know, just try to handle business the right way. But it is going to mean the world to me for sure.
Nick King from Arizona's Family, Channel 3, Channel 5.
Hey, Brock, do you talk to your teammates much or do they ask you much, especially now about Arizona, about home? And are you bummed at all that, you know, the normal festivities of a bowl week, they'd get a chance to see a lot more of the area and now they unfortunately won't?
Yeah, I mean, teammates have been asking me really just every day at practice and stuff, you know, a new question here and there about Arizona. And so it's been fun to just tell them about, you know, everything that I've done growing up, playing in games in Arizona and things like that. But yeah, it is a little, you know, a little bit of a bummer, you know, not being able to do the, you know, full couple days of activities and whatnot. I really wanted to, you know, show them around a little bit and have them experience that. But, you know, it is what it is this year. And again, our main goal is to go and play the game and win the game. And so for us, you know, leading up to this point, I know that, you know, all the guys are doing the right, you know, steps going into the game and the preparation is being done in the right way. So everyone's excited about the game, but, you know, it is, you know, something that we have to go into ready to win rather than, you know, we're just happy to be there. We are going to be thankful to be there, but, you know, we have to go in and win the game. So.
Jordan Ham from Sports 360 Arizona.
Hey, Brock, hope you're doing well. I wanted to go back to your recruitment. I know we talked plenty about it, but your class was the first one with that early signing day. What memories do you have about going through that process and then how much kind of things changed for you after that early signing day and you know, your recruitment really took off after that?
Yeah, I remember it was all new as far as that having that early signing period. And for me, you know, I was still trying to find a place where I was going to go play college football at the time. And so, you know, after that first signing period, you know, a lot of colleges were, you know, having a better understanding of who they were able to get quarterback wise. And so for me, you know, I was just patient with the process. And really after that first signing period is when the college teams really started hitting me up. And then I was able to have options to go, you know, take visits and understand where I wanted to go play college football at that point. So having that first signing period, I do think really helped me out. And, you know, for me, I was thankful everything happened the way it did. But, you know, it allowed me to find Iowa State as a home. And now here we are able to play at the Fiesta Bowl. So it's pretty sweet.
Jesse Morrison from Arizona PBS, Cronkite News.
Hey, Brock. You know, growing up when you attended games at this stadium, whether it was Cardinals or Fiesta Bowl or whatever, you know, probably packed house usually. Does it just kind of bum you out a little bit, you know, that you're going to be coming back here and playing a game, you know, in front of just mostly friends and family, and it's not going to be that feel of what State Farm Stadium normally feels like?
Yeah, I mean, I wish, you know, the whole place was able to sell out and everything like that, no doubt. But just being able to be in my home state, to be honest, is going to really mean everything to me, and I'll be fine with that. I know that everyone's going to be watching, and, you know, I will have close family and friends there at the game. But, yeah, I mean, I do wish, you know, it was, you know, going to be able to have that feel of, you know, having the whole place sold out and, you know, roaring throughout the game. But it is what it is this year. And so I'm still going to, you know, take it like any other game, whether it was packed or not. So, you know, we'll be able to handle all that. We have this year. So that's not going to change, but I'm still going to be, you know, really thankful that I'm in my home state. And so that's really all I could ask for.
Go back to Zachary Martin from Iowa State Daily with a follow-up.
Yeah, Brock. This type of, you know, opponent that you're going to play in Oregon, they've always been that name brand school. They've been in big games year in and year out. This is something that's not new to them. It's new to you guys. What would it mean to, you know, go in there on Saturday and, you know, kind of make a statement that Iowa State is ready to get into that, you know, level that that Oregon has been in really for the last decade or so.
Yeah. To be honest, the team that we have this year, we've done remarkable things, and I think we really are like the true definition of what a team looks like. We have, some key players who, are really good and everything, but we play as a team, the offense, defense, and special teams. And we're a bunch of kids who have worked hard our whole life. It hasn't really just been about us. It's been about others. And so I feel like we've been able to win games this year because of that. And so going into this game, yeah, we're playing a great team in Oregon, but at the same time, like, we're going to focus on what we've done all year, and that's playing together. Being able to play on all three sides of the ball with offense, defense, and special teams, and let our game take care of everything else. But yeah, like you said, having Iowa State, not being this, powerhouse program like Oregon and all these other teams, but that's fine for us. We're trying to do something for the first time in school history here. This is obviously the best bowl game we've ever been to in school history. But I feel like we do have what it takes to, take the next step and become a program like you said, and all these other teams that we faced throughout our careers here. So we're taking it one step at a time, and we know that we have the capability of, doing what other schools have done.
Randy Peterson from the Des Moines Register.
Hey, Brock, the offensive line, when maybe even before you got there, although it kind of seems like you've been there forever, the offensive line has always taken criticism. It's taken hits from people, and largely deserved. But this year, those people have shut up. There's no criticism of the offensive line. What is your thought about the offensive line and how much the progression that you have seen that group make since you've even been there?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a bunch of new guys play this year. The past 2 years, we've had guys with experience and everything, but this year has really been the first year where we have new faces on the O-line, and they've done a great job of continually like progressing throughout the year. By each game, they've gotten better. They play as a unit, and really like every single one of the guys on the O-line, from the first string to second string, they're guys who want to go to war with each other, and they want to go to war for the team. And so they have a lot of heart. They have a lot of drive and fire. And so obviously the past couple of years, there's always been like this talk of the Iowa State O-line. They're not all that. But this year, they've just kept their heads down and kept grinding away in the offseason. And they've done a tremendous job this year of protecting me and allowing Brees to do his thing. And so I feel like the offensive line needs to get more credit for our success that we've had this year as an offense. So they've done a great job.
Jeff Metcalf from the Arizona Republic. Jeff? We'll go to Jesse Morrison. Oh, there you go,
No,
Jeff.
I'm here. It's okay. Does this kind of dream scenario, does it go to an even higher level when you think about Tyler being the quarterback on the other side?
I think it's cool to be able to, play against Tyler. Obviously, growing up with him in junior high and playing against him in high school, and the relationship that we have and knowing each other very well, I think it's awesome. And but at the same time, for me, I'm going into it, as any other kind of game, preparing for the defense that I have to play rather than focusing on, who's on the offensive side of the ball, because that's out of my control. And so I feel like every single game that I've prepared for this year, I've played great quarterbacks in this conference, and but I haven't focused on their game or their play. I focus on what I have to do for my team. And so that doesn't change for this game. Obviously, it is awesome seeing Tyler on the other side and seeing him be successful so far in his career. I'm really happy for him. But, I'm just focusing on what I have to do for this game and what I have to do for my team.
Brock, we visited with Oregon's defensive side earlier today, and you talked about focusing on the other side of the ball. What do you see from the Oregon defensive side that you're planning for in terms of whether it's Thibodeau or their defensive backfield?
Yeah, I mean, they're really athletic. They're fast. And then obviously they look good physically with their size and everything. And so we respect them, what they do. They're really well coached. And so they do, a lot of things, whether they're blitzing or dropping out in the zone. What I've seen on film so far, I have my respect for them for sure. And, again, we're going to, focus on what we've done all year and what's made us successful and, work our way through that. And so I know it's going to be, a good challenge for us this game, but we're really excited for it as well. So that's really the matchup that we see out of them for this game, and we're really excited for it.
Jesse Morrison from Cronkite News.
Hey, Brock, I just wanted to follow up. You haven't said this specifically, but have you been to any Fiesta Bowls like growing up? And if so, which ones, if you can remember?
I actually haven't been to any Fiesta Bowls, but I've watched them like every single year. I always have a bunch of like my teammates growing up watching them and whatnot because, the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona, like for everyone around town, like that was it. Like that was like the best college football game of the year. And so watching those, my favorite probably would have had to been Boise State versus Oklahoma. Just what happened in that game, that was insane. And, growing up, doing the Statue of Liberty and stuff like that because of that game was pretty sweet. It's fun looking back and, as kids watching that game, you're like, man, I wish I was in that kind of situation, fourth quarter going to overtime in front of all those people and stuff. Like that's pretty sweet. And so that's probably one of my favorite games of all time for the Fiesta Bowl for sure.
Jose Romero from the Arizona Republic.
Brock, what would you say are maybe some things that Brees does that really aren't visible on the numbers and the yards and the touchdowns?
Yeah, I would just say just the athleticism he has with his balance and his vision. There's been plays he's made this year where he gets, 6-8 yard gains, but really they could have been like -2 yard losses. And this kid just has great balance on his feet and to be able to spin off guys and just make people miss in small areas of the field in the box and stuff like that. I've never seen before. David Montgomery, used to do that my freshman and sophomore or my freshman year. And then being able to see Brees do that, I'm like, man, I've never seen this before. And then just his breakaway speed. I mean, when he gets going out in the middle of the field, man, it's hard to, take him down, to catch him. And then he makes 1 or 2 cuts and he's gone. So I've never seen it before. He's definitely one of the best running backs I've ever played with, if not the best. And so I have a lot of respect for, what he does on a day in and day out basis and every game that he plays. So.
Jordan Ham.
Hey, Brock, just wanted to circle back to that early signing day. For you, was that a day of frustration, of, knowing it was part of the process, of motivation? Kind of what were your emotions that day?
Yeah, I remember that day. There's a lot of people asking me, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? And, a lot of people in Arizona were just like frustrated, because they wanted me to do amazing things and succeed. They wanted the best for me. And so for me, I was like, hey, it's going to be all right. I'm going to stay patient with this whole process. And I knew that everything was going to work out, to be honest. I'm a faithful guy, and I did believe that, God had a plan for me, and I truly did believe in that. And so after that first signing period happened, then, the calls started coming in, the offers started coming in, and that's when I started seeing, the fruition to, my game and to what my future was going to be. So I was always patient with it. I never freaked out. I know people outside did because, you hear things. But being able to handle that, I think, allowed me to, stay calm and stay poised and understand that everything was going to be all right. So.
Hey, Brock, you just talked about Brees, but your offense has two talented receivers. When you're looking at, Xavier Hutchinson and Charlie Kolar as just two people we're picking out here, what do you see and what do you know when you're throwing the ball in the air to either one of those two guys?
Yeah, I mean, they're playmakers. They're really athletic. Charlie's got great size, moves really well for a tight end for, how big he is and everything. And the mismatches that come out of that with Charlie, for me, like, it doesn't get any better. He can go up against linebackers, safeties, any other kind of DB. He's done it all year. He's done a great job with it. He gets great separation. And so he does a great job in that area. Xavier has got great speed. He's really physical, and he does a great job after the catch of breaking tackles and making plays with his feet. And so, those are guys who bring a lot of energy to our offense. They make plays and guys feed off that. And so when you're able to have multiple guys that can do that, then I feel like that just enhances the offense as a whole, helps you get rolling, and just helps the team out overall. So they've done a good job this year of stepping up when the team needs them, in certain situations, to spark our offense and to get the game going. They've done a great job with it time after time this year. So I'm really proud of those guys and really excited of what they're going to do.
Michael Swain from 247.
Hey, Brock, something that Xavier mentioned was that during practice, if you guys didn't connect on a pass, that you'd stop practice and run the play back. Is that something you've done with receivers in the past? And what made you want to do that with Xavier this season?
Yeah, I just feel like the past couple of years, there's been times where we've let that slide, where you make a mistake and all right, we'll come back to it. Then you get in the game in the heat of the moment, and you see that you should have repped it again. And so Xavier and I, in the off season, we had a great understanding of hey, every little thing that we do from here on out matters. And so practice, if we don't have something right, we're gonna go off and either do it by ourselves or run it back again to get the rep right. And I think that's allowed our connection and our trust in one another in a game be so successful, because I trust him that, hey, we've done this so many times at practice, he's going to do it in the heat of the moment, and he knows that I'll do the same for him. And so I think that's something that we'll continue to do, and it's allowed us to have great success so far.
Michael, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I did. And I guess was maybe there a moment this season where you felt like that repetition paid off and you felt like, doing that and going that extra mile helped you?
Yeah, I feel like really that stretch from that Kansas State game on, I just felt like we were clicking in all aspects with, my connection with the receivers and the tight ends and even the running backs. We finally saw, what it looks like to be consistent with one another in the game, throwing the ball, not many incompletions or anything like that, because we were on the same page, and we repped it out over and over and over. Early on in the season, we did a good job, but we just continued to get better as the season went on. And so from that Kansas State game on, I feel like we've seen all that hard work and everything pay off, and, we're seeing it now. So.
All right, we're going to close out one last time with Zachary Martin from the Iowa State Daily.
Brock, Xavier just mentioned in the other Zoom, like his reaction to getting the PS5, and then he also said that he's the best Madden player on the team, but said no one on the team wants to admit it. Is that true? Is he the best Madden player, or some other guys have a chance to come for that throne?
Yeah, a lot of guys do a lot of talking when it comes to video games and stuff. And so Xavier and I actually played a lot in quarantine. And so I don't know if he'll ever admit it to you guys, but I'll just tell you the truth. I've beat him multiple times, and it's clear that I'm the better Madden player, but I just know he won't admit it. But I have a lot of respect for him in his game with Madden. But, I'm a quarterback, so I know how to, beat him in times when the game gets close. So that's what I have to say about Xavier. So
that's the perfect answer. I love that.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, thank you very much for joining us this morning and this afternoon, depending on where you are, with all of our media sessions. Brock, thank you for your time. I know you're looking forward to getting back here on Thursday. Congratulations on a great season and continued best in your preparations.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.